Nathan Samuel Rollins and Blake Truckney is signing off. Today we're going to be ranking all the VHS tapes. Nathan, how do you feel going into this? It's gonna be pretty great, I think. The VHS franchise is a beautiful anthology series of different horror movie tapes. Me and Nathan watched them every night after a 5-hour gooning session with each other. We enjoy these movies quite a bit, and we'd like to share you our favorite tapes in the form of a tier list. Tape number 1.
The tiers include
Dog shit.
Bad,
Mid.
good,
Great.
and
Orgasm. Because when me and Nathan are doing our lovemaking / gooning together, when this tape comes on, it is especially easy to bust. A big fat nut.
In him.
Now, let's start with
The very
This
first
tape.
tape.
Amateur Night. This tape includes A Vampire Girl. I think it belongs in the great tier.
I agree with that statement.
We are now placing this in the great tier. Although there are parts of this tape where the people in the tape are orgasming, I don't tend to. Or at least it takes me a little bit of time.
There are also parts of that tape where the people in it are, dare I say, retarded.
Dare I say, Bill Cosby would really enjoy this tape as well.
He would.
He would, because there is a scene in which a Bill... Anyways, next tape. We have the Google Meet one. We don't remember the names of these tapes because we're not fucking nerds. I think this tape is pretty mid, in my opinion.
It was pretty mid. I agree with that statement. There were like babies coming out of her at the end, but not in the normal way.
In the really exciting and fun way.
No. So, because of this,
My lawyer has informed me to retract that
I
statement.
believe it deserves a spot in the mid tier.
I would argue putting it in bad, but I think compared to the other tapes on this list, there are much worse tapes to be had. I think this is a solid 4 out of 10.
I agree with that statement.
Next tape, The Lesbian One. Dog shit. Respectfully,
I liked it. Which means that for the first time ever, we're gonna have to find a medium and put it in mid tier.
did you like it a lot? Would you say that it's a good tier or a great
I
tier?
would in fact say that I thought it was pretty good.
Why?
The lesbians were pretty hot.
Looking back, the lesbians were pretty hot, but the plot was terrible.
The plot was terrible, which is why we're putting it in mid tier.
I agree with this statement. This is a good business exchange to make the perfect tier list that all can enjoy. Now we're going with the frame narrative of VHS 1. The frame narrative is the overarching A-plot that is centered around all of the little B-plot tapes in between, and it brings the stories together. This one, I think, was perfectly not very good, in my opinion.
I agree. I think it was not very good. It served its purpose for the first movie. But, compared to everything after it, I would dare I say, I thought it was pretty bad.
I would agree with that statement. I'd say that it's not terrible because there was an old dead guy on the couch, and I was watching the whole time to see if he would move. He never moved until the very end, and that was satisfying. So I'd say if you put it in the bad tier, perfect 3 out of 10. If you like watching terrible tapes, you will love this one.
I agree with that statement.
Our next tape, the final tape we're going to be doing in VHS 1, is the Halloween tape. This one's titled 10/31/98. I enjoyed this tape.
He knows the name of it because he's a nerd.
I know the name of it because I gooned to the main girl character in this tape.
She was pretty hot,
She was also getting sacrificed and her clothes was getting taken off.
which was pretty hot.
I did quite enjoy that myself.
There were also hands coming out of the walls, which
I would like to get my hands on the girl.
her.
I believe this tape belongs in the good tier.
I also believe this tape belongs in the good tier.
Wow, that was a pretty good movie.
I agree.
I enjoyed it. We enjoyed it so much that for our next Goon Sesh, we decided to watch VHS 2. We'll begin with the frame narrative. This frame narrative was slightly better than the last one.
I don't remember this frame narrative.
I'll put this one in mid because it was perfectly mid. There were zombies and shit, and somebody Kurt Cobained themselves.
Ah, I remember this frame narrative. It was pretty mid.
We're going to put. Can we put the lesbians behind?
We can
VHS
put
2?
the lesbians behind VHS 2's frame narrative.
Can we put the VHS 2 frame narrative ahead of the babies in the Google Meet with the titties?
No. I like tits.
Nathan really enjoys tits, and you're going to see throughout this video that Nathan's obsession with big, voluptuous titties is going to distract him from the real rankings that these tapes should have. Our next tape is The Eyeball Guy. This one's called Clinical Trials, where a man gets clinically fucked halfway through by a woman with fake ears.
That was very hot.
We're putting this in great because we had a great time watching
Goon into it. Dare I say, I would personally put it above the vampire woman from the first one.
No. We agreed to disagree,
We do.
and we decided to put it in great. Although we don't agree on the placement, we can agree on where it is in regards to all the other tapes.
Yes, we can.
A Ride in the Park. This one's about zombies and shit.
I love this tape. Did it make me orgasm? No.
No!
But
No!
I respectfully think it was pretty great.
I agree. I think this belongs in the great tier because the makeup is really good, and the zombie ladies had me getting hard. We're putting this in great, below or above the Eyeball Guy.
I would respectfully put it. Above the Eyeball Guy. But
I
it's
concur.
very close.
I concur. Next we have Safe Haven. This is regarded amongst many VHS fans to be one of the best tapes of all time. Except most VHS fans are all in their late 30s,
And
males and gooners that don't go outside. Me
See,
and Nathan,
we are in our mid-teens, males and gooners who don't go outside.
sometimes, on the occasion, we lick a grass in our backyard. With that said, I think this belongs in the orgasm tier.
You know, I respectfully agree. This tape made me bust a nut.
And that's what I always say to my significant other over here, is that demons giving birth to Satan make me bust fat, juicy nuts. The next tape we have is The Alien Slumber Party. This tape is infamous for the voluptuous aliens that like to walk in on little kids masturbating. Oh
This-
boy, oh boy, oh boy, that got me excited.
Respectfully, I think this tape was goofy as hell.
I
Boy,
concur
oh
with
boy,
Nathan's
oh boy.
statement.
It was very goofy. But I liked the dog POV from it.
The dog POV was super hot, and it made me want to bust inside the next dog I saw.
But it did not make me bust.
I agree with that statement.
I respectfully would put it at the bottom of the great tier, or the top of the good tier.
I would like to put it on the top of the good tier because Amateur Night, the vampire one, was super hot. Shit. Fuck. Next we have completely gone through VHS 1 and 2. We're skipping Viral because Viral sucks
Fucking
ass.
sucks.
We're skipping Viral because Viral makes us want to bust inside of ourselves. Or,
It's
like the old-fashioned people say, not be disgusting freaks in the street.
It turned my dick into a vacuum cleaner.
It made me grow a pussy for a couple of months. We're going to VHS 94, which is somewhat of a reboot because Shudder took control and it increased the quality quite a bit.
It got rid of tits.
It got rid of the tits. Me and Nathan send angry emails to the Shudder company every single day about it.
I send them twice. Twice for each tit.
First we have the VHS 94. Framework, which is about a bunch of SWAT team guys who go to an abandoned airport. They think they're encountering a drug bust, but what they're really encountering are some fucking lesbians. I think this belongs in the dog shit tier because of how angry it made me, thinking that we were going to get a good tape, but it ended with some fucking lesbians.
I respectfully agree with that statement. I like lesbians. They can be pretty hot, but this was not hot.
I hate lesbians. Our next tape is called
RATMA.
otherwise known as Storm Drain, where it's about a
My mistake.
hot reporter girl who reminds me of Lois Lane, and I would love to Superman super bust in that pussy. RATMA is really cool. I think this belongs in the orgasm tier.
I respectfully agree with that statement. That black goo was making me shoot out white goo.
Hail RATMA. Our next tape is called Empty Wig. It's about a black woman.
We love black women.
I got distracted thinking about that black woman. I think this belongs in the good tier, bottom of the good tier, because although the zombie looks cool, there was one zombie. That's a unforgivable sin. I do love the makeup, and I thought the pacing was okay at best.
I also love the pacing. Except, at the end, wherever they were, fucking blew up.
The funeral fucking blew up for no reason.
We aren't sure why.
We aren't sure why. Please tell us why. Sorry, we had to cut the tapes now.
Which was pretty goofy.
Yeah, we got distracted. We had to cut out a little bit of the video to save time. 5 hours of time. We're putting this in the good tier.
I would respectfully put it at the bottom of the good tier. The bottom of the good tier.
I concur.
Alright. This is where we're going to have our first major disagreement.
I concur. The subject, although it is widely renowned by many VHS fans who are gooners, and their opinion should not be respected, I like this tape. Nathan doesn't.
I do not like this tape.
We will argue this civilly, like men.
Yes.
What don't you like about the tape?
I think the robot looks fucking goofy.
That hurt my feelings. The robots actually look really cool, and they have sword hands, and they make me want to bust.
The sword hands were pretty hot. Which is the only
We agreed on something.
Which is the only reason why I wouldn't put this in the dog shit tier.
You like the sword hands.
I like the sword hands.
What about the spider guy?
He looked like... Have you ever seen a kid with special needs and you thought, I could use that person's head as a soccer ball?
Yes, but don't you think that since he dies tragically, that gives you a little bit of happiness knowing that that piece of shit is there?
Yes, but the fact that he was made in the first place makes me dislike it. Which is why I would personally put it in the dog shit tier. But I know you wouldn't. So this is where we find a middle ground.
I would put this in the great tier because of the robot's POV and the action packs that make me want to bust a big fat nut. Not completely. Since I want it in great, and Nathan wants it in dog shit,
We
we're
will
going to
respectfully put
average
it
it out
in the
mid.
middle of the mid tier.
Is that
Yes.
I'm sorry. I had a voice crack.
This one, which we have not ranked yet. A Ride in the Park.
This one is about zombies. The makeup looks cool, and the zombies are kind of attractive.
They are kind of attractive, which is why we're going to be putting it in the middle of the great tier.
Our next tape is called Terror. This one is presumably thought of as lesser of the VHS 94 films, tapes, sorry.
But we respectfully enjoy this tier.
I didn't hear what Nathan just said because I slapped myself in the ear, and there is a giant ringing noise in my ear. But I'm assuming whatever he said was smart, and his jawline makes me think that he is smart as well.
Which is why we're going to respectfully put this in the great tier.
I agree. I think
The
this belongs.
top of the great tier.
For terror?
For terror.
I think that opinion was fucking awesome. Although it isn't perfect, I believe that it had one of the best concepts for a tape that we've seen yet. That, although it wasn't perfectly shown through this medium, I thought it was fucking hot.
I agree with that.
Next, we are moving on to VHS 99. We have Shredded. This tape was cringy as fuck, and it made me want to cry thinking about my younger years.
I did not like this tape.
I also did not enjoy this tape, although I will give props where props are due. I liked watching the kids get murdered by zombies.
I did too.
The zombies looked cool, but the zombies did not say cool things.
No,
Zombies should never be talking. When zombies talk, it sounds like the little boys with Down syndrome trying to talk to me, in which I say the same thing to both. You're a monster. Please, walk away from me.
I concur. Though, I will say, the only reason I would not put it at the bottom of the dog shit tier is because there was racism, which me, as a straight white male, can appreciate.
Straight as a line, except when we're not. Which is why I think
If
this
this belongs the top of the dog shit tier,
I think we should put it in the bottom of the bad tier because of just how much I fucking hate VHS 94's friend.
you know, I respectfully agree with that statement. Anyway,
I can't stop.
Suicide Bed.
Suicide Bit is the next tape, in which a sorority girl, wants to get into this nicer sorority, in which they all go to this memorial type place. And
I think she's pretty hot.
They are all pretty hot. I would personally fuck the shit out of all the sorority girls myself.
I concur.
She gets stuck in a coffin because there's a rumor going around that this other girl got stuck in the coffin. We find out that to be true because a zombie appears while she's in the coffin. She gets stuck because the other sorority girls think it would be a nice prank. Things go wrong. All of the other sorority girls get in coffins as well. I thought this was creative, and as a claustrophobe myself, I thought it was pretty sick. It made me shivery timbers.
I'm not a little bitch, so I don't get scared by movies. But I can see where he's coming from.
I'm a little bitch, and I call him mommy every night.
He does.
I think we should put this in the bottom or top of the good tier.
I think we should put this in the top of the good tier.
We agree, once again. The next tape we both find in very high regard.
Yes, we do.
Ozzy's Dungeon is one of the hottest things I've ever seen.
Except for when the fat black woman is taking off her shirt. That is not hot, because we both think fat people should die.
Fat people should all die. You are actively stealing my food. Fat black people should be dead. Emphasis on the black! But the fat black lady made a perfect villain for the movie.
I agree with this.
If you haven't seen the tape, go watch it right now. We're not going to spoil it for you. It is amazing. Downright orgasmic.
I concur with that statement. Sorry, he just ripped ass.
I ripped ass, because when I bust, I also rip ass. Which is why I ripped ass. We're going to put this in the orgasm tier.
I concur with that too.
Above or below round?
I would personally put it below round. Safe haven. I think it should go below round. I will leave it to you whether you want to put it below Ozzy's or above Ozzy's.
I want to put Safe Haven below Ozzy's because Ozzy is so hot. His
It is very hot.
his noodly tentacles, I want to get all up inside of me. Next we have the Gawkers.
Me and Blake love this tape.
Because we ourselves are Gawkers.
We are gooners, we are gawkers, and we tweet when watching this tape. But only good tweet. Respectfully, we think that if these kids were real life, we would be friends with them and probably do the same activities that they do.
Now if you haven't seen the tape, you may be wondering, The things these kids do are disgusting, and these people belong in prison. Yes. We should put this in the gray tier.
I think we should put it, respectfully, I think we should put it either in the top of the gray tier or below terror.
Nathan has given me a lot to think about.
I'll leave it up to my associates to decide.
I think this belongs above around the park and below amateur. Although I can see where he's coming from, as Medusa's titties are on the film.
This is one of the only instances where one of the Shudder films has titties in it. And they're very, very nice.
And we love titties.
Yes, we do.
I think this belongs below amateur, but above around the park.
I respectfully disagree.
Don't tell me and Nathan do. You decide! Just kidding. We don't believe in.
Parasocial relationships.
And me and Nathan are the opposite of parasocial.
We're very social.
Very social.
We're gonna fuck after we film this video.
Let's put this above amateur.
I agree with that decision.
Although I love amateur, and I think the vampire VFX looks
Excuse me,
better.
I'm getting a call. Hello? Isabel. Okay. But we're gonna have to wrap this up soon. My father will be here in 5 minutes. Lightning round.
We're going to do a lightning round. The hell one. I forget the name.
To hell and back.
I think this belongs at the top of the good.
I agree with that statement.
Above the coffin one?
Above the Gotham one.
Next we are now moving on to VHS 85. We have Rory, the frame narrative, which I think is orgasmic.
I respectfully think you should go into almost the top of the great tier. I enjoyed terror more than I enjoyed this frame narrative.
I disagree, although I do believe it is a good.
No rake. This is about people getting shot, but not dying. On a boat.
I thought it was creative, although I thought it was a little underwhelming. I think we should put this at the top of mid-tier.
See, I respectfully disagree. Because I, personally, would put it below a ride in the park, but above the eyeball guy.
We're going to
Find a middle ground.
in good.
In good.
Let's put it in the middle of good.
A little bit above the middle of good.
Let's put it,
Please. I'm alright with this decision.
Now we have the second part of the frame narrative.
This is not the frame narrative.
The second part of No Way. This is the only tape that has 2 parts. I believe we should put this one above the first one.
I respectfully agree. As a matter of fact, I think that this tape should go into the top of the good tier.
I agree.
Now, I personally enjoyed No Wig more than I enjoyed the second part. But, due to our disagreement, but our lovely, lovely relationship, we can find middle grounds.
Yes, we can.
Next, Dream Kill. I was asleep when we watched this tape because I was a little sleepy boy.
And his black was blown out so much so that he couldn't keep his eyes open for very long. Anyways, I
Very true.
enjoyed this one. I thought it was creative, although there were no scary parts, which leads me to putting it at the bottom of good. Next we have God of Death, my personal favorite tape from VHS 85. My associate Nathan is not fucking paying attention.
No, I'm not. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I have to talk about another man who's getting a distinguished treat like us. While I'm doing this, I will let my associate rank this tape for us.
God of Death is very good. One, yeah. As they say in Venezuela. which is where I assume this country takes place. This no, stuttering.
Stuttering with shutter tapes.
I'm going to put this tape below Rory, but ahead of the gawkers, as though I think it is great. Actually, I can try. The beginning is a little too slow. The ending is amazing because there is a naked Latina, which is my ultimate weakness. We're going to have to put this above a rally park, above every church, above the gawkers. Next, this is the single worst piece of media me and Nathan have seen in our entire lives.
This is going to go at the bottom of the dog shit because it is actually, like you said, the single worst piece of media me and Blake have ever seen in our lives. We don't even want to talk about it because it's so incredibly bad.
Actually, I'm going to have to do something that I wish I never had to do my entire life. We're adding a new row that is worse than dog shit.
Due to the fact that this tape is so incredibly bad, we will not even rewatch the movie purely because of how bad this tape was.
We're calling this I Want to Kill Myself, because watching this
made us want to kill ourselves.
the thought of slitting my throat made me very happy. The next tape is the frame narrative for the newest VHS movie, VHS Beyond, which in our personal opinions, the entire movie made us orgasm. The frame narrative was the worst part of the film, but it was still enjoyable.
Our third associate says he does not own a tie. That means you're going to have to respectfully grab your zip-up tie for him.
I will do that right when this is over. We're on the last film. We're almost done.
Yes.
I think this belongs in the middle of good tier.
I respectfully agree with that statement. The frame narrative was somewhat boring, but it was not bad.
Every day there was a special appearance from a YouTube channel that Nathan begins to.
I do agree to that YouTube channel.
The next tape is, personally, one of the best tapes in the entire franchise, Stork. If you don't like this tape, you should fucking kill yourself.
Respectfully, I think this is my favorite tape in the entire franchise. I would put it at the top of the orgasm tape.
That's pretty good talk from Nathan's Honeymoon, my associate here. Our next tape.
We don't
Is it
remember
not?
what it was called.
We don't know what it's called. It follows a group of rowdy young adults who are
going skydiving, and then
shenanigans ensue.
where a UFO pops up out of nowhere, and they all fucking die.
I think this tape is fucking amazing, and I would also like to put it in the orgasm tier.
I would also like to put it in the orgasm tier.
Whoa.
I would respectfully put it below RATMA.
I can go.
Next, this tape is about a woman who has dead dogs, and she sews parts of those dead dogs to people in her home. And respectfully, this tape had the best acting out of any tape, but it was not my favorite tape.
It was also the most disgusting and concerning. I believe this tape was fucking amazing. Although it was impossible for me to bust a full nut because of how disturbing it was.
It was disgusting.
I think we should put this at the top of great tier, or the bottom of the orgasm tier.
I think we should put it at the top of the orgasm tier. We have to finish up now.
Our associate meant to say bottom.
Yeah.
We have two left.
Okay. First, Indian woman. Respectfully, I would put this in below red. I would put this at the bottom of the great tier.
I agree. It was pretty good, but the people were too Indian.
And last but not least, we have Stowaway, which
The most creative out of all of them. The shots were beautiful.
I agree. Therefore, I would personally put it above Rory, below Terra.
I agree. It was really creative, but it was kind of confusing. You should watch it for yourself.
Agreed.
And this was all of our tapes ranked. Here, if you would like to get a close-up of our beautiful viewers, look at this. Look at how hot this is.
We have a lovely tier list.
We have agreed and disagreed on certain things, and we've come together to create an amazing tier.
They're just looking at our dicks right now.
All right.
And this was our tier list. Thank you for watching.
Bye.